Now, the Oscars are this Sunday. I saw a lot of the movies. I would actually pick Green Book. But which movies do you think should win? We asked the New Circle Circular to let us know.
Sunday night is Oscar night, and this year, for the first time ever, I can say that I've seen 2 of the movies that are up for Best Picture. Now, Matt said go watch the rest of them, so I watched some of the trailers and spent the rest of the day watching reruns of Me on Hey Kentucky. Either way, I'm the only expert we got, so let's check out the films that are nominated. To make it easy, let's talk about the nominees in alphabetical order. So first up, we have Vice. At first, I thought this was going to be a movie about that lefty news show on HBO. But instead, it was some other kind of liberal-minded fake news. So I guess I wasn't too surprised when I saw this film feature a liberal's imagination running wild when it came to the history of this country. In this historically inaccurate retelling of the Great W's presidency, Batman takes over the White House and later accidentally shoots a guy in the woods. Which doesn't make a lot of sense because I've seen over 9 Batman movies and he's never once fired a gun. Next up, we got Black Panther. Oh cool, the second best comic book movie made last year is up for the Oscar for Best Picture? Wow, I can't wait till next year when Kathy and Dilbert get nominated. Black Klansman. Hands down, this is the best film made in 2018, so it clearly has no chance of winning the Oscar for Best Picture. I actually learned a lot from this movie. Like, did you know that Christian Laettner isn't the only reason we hate David Duke? Next up, we have Bohemian Rhapsody. Mr. Robot stars in this deceitfully titled film, where we see him sing songs from every genre of music possible, even an opera one. But color me confused, why Bohemian Rhapsody has 3 hours of music and not one rap song. I'll even admit that all the songs were pretty great, but don't believe the title, because whether or not this thing was Bohemian or not, I promise there's absolutely no rap. Next, I watched A Star Is Born. This one had a lot of songs in it too, but I watched it right after that non-rapping rap movie, and the songs in this one were way worse. I mean, 20 minutes into the movie, you've seen both of the main characters sing, and you're like, oh man, these 2 will never make it in the music industry, but it turns out one of them is the biggest star on the planet. There's no way that's true. None of these songs are anywhere as good as the Queen ones. Speaking of Queen, next up we have The Favorite. Every year, someone has the bright idea that we need to make another movie that gets an amazing cast of actors together and forces some people to spend months designing sets and dressing rich people up in elaborate and beautiful costumes, only to stand around and never tell any kind of story whatsoever. Ooh, Margaret, please help me. I need to walk around my house today, and I couldn't possibly get dressed up all by myself. Also, when we're done with that, could you please force some other person to make me some tea? Because of course you couldn't possibly do that, as they're completely different skill sets. Thank you. Isn't all of this very lovely? Every year they do this. Then, from the people that named the Beatles' White Album, we have Green Book. Gold Book, Green Book, who gives a Sorry, I didn't watch this one at all. Because I've always said, if you put book in the title of your movie, I'm not gonna watch it. Finally, we have our pick for Best Picture, Romo. This cinematic masterpiece follows a middle-class family in Mexico City. Through the director's lens, we see his own family's triumphs and struggles, proving that no matter wherever you are, not everything is black and white. Except this movie is, which is a mixed metaphor if you ask me. But since it takes place in the not-so-dangerous-after-all Mexico City, nothing would make our president more angry than this winning the Academy Award for Best Picture. And since making him mad is all anyone in Hollywood cares about, this one's a shoo-in. But don't just take my word for it, you can watch Roma on Netflix right now. In the meantime, watch these guys back in the studio.
I liked A Star Is Born. He's wrong, it's good, and it made me cry.